What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. I just wanted to get this video out there for you so you're prepared for the day tomorrow, right? Free Cash Friday. But we have major red news at 8:30, non-farms, non-farm payrolls, okay? But as you can see, we're looking at the DJ 30. On Wednesday, we had our false break at the high of the week. Okay. Day two confirms that false break. Also, day two gives us a nice close and breakout. You can see here how we close at the extreme. That's our close and breakout. And then Friday, tomorrow, will be our day three. Perhaps a major red news catalyst, first bounce type of trade. If you're not familiar with that, you can go to our Discord group, and I posted the pages from Stacy's playbook there so that you can, read through it or whatever and see what he has to say about this, right? But essentially, this is what we're looking at tomorrow. And the most important thing here, right, is to be planning ahead, be preparing for this trade. You need to have like a if this, then that type of uh plan in your head. What are you going to do? If we're headed to the upside, where's your stop loss going to be? Where's your take profit going to go? How are you going to manage this trade and execute this trade? And same goes for the other side. And so I just sort of roughly sketched this out for you, what may or may not happen, something that maybe I'll be looking out for. Um, there's no way for us to predict what's going to happen tomorrow. We need to, before we take a trade, we need to see the correct patterns at the correct times and at the correct levels before we take a trade, right? And you can see here that I've marked off the previous day. So today, Thursday, okay, I marked off Thursday's peak formation high, the swing high from Thursday's New York session. That's going to be a key level for us. We want to mark off these key levels, okay? You can see I sort of captioned this. If we're going to continue lower, then this high from New York should hold. We want to pay attention to the behavior of price when we come back to these swing levels. All right, and I also marked off Friday's Asian high. And you can see I just sort of gave a rough sketch, right? Like if we come back up here, right around this news release, if we're back up here going into this swing high, we might get a spike up through that before the news takes it back down. We are going to be waiting for the first bounce opportunity that usually takes, 15 minutes to actuate or whatever, right? So this is like my little plan here. Okay, if we end up high and we're going to take this short, this is kind of what I'm planning on, right? And then if the opposite happens, if we end up trading back down into the low of the day, and we don't know, this market could continue going lower over the course of the night, but if we end up back down there at the low of the day, right, going into 9:30, then or 8:30, excuse me, then I might be looking to take this thing long, but really we need to see the patterns. It's all about the pattern and where we're at when we come to the session. Okay. So I just sort of wanted to uh, tell you kind of where my head is at, what I'm going to be looking for, the plan that I'm sort of sticking to. And like, if this is the case, right? Like, let's say we do get something, like, let's say this happens for simplicity's sake, right? And this is our first bounce opportunity right here. That is exactly where my stop loss is going to go. I'm not going to, let me zoom in. I'm not going to put my stop loss way up here above the high of the day. Okay, I'm going to put my stop loss like a 1 bar stop right above this first bounce candle. Okay, that's where the stop is going to go. Same thing, like if this happened, my stop loss is going to go right below this structure right here. one bar stop, and we'll let that thing ride. You know what I mean? But the news is always risky. If you don't feel comfortable, don't trade. Okay. There will always be another opportunity. If this trade is not obvious to you, don't take the trade. So if I come to my chart tomorrow and it's looking real wonky, it's real choppy, or even if it looks good, I just can't recognize it, I'm not going to take the trade. Okay. Because I know accounts get blown. I promise you, bro. Every single major news release like this, like non-farm payrolls, go on Reddit tomorrow in the day trading subreddit, and you're going to see people that have blown their account, okay? And they're going to be crying about it. There's going to be people asking, what happened at 8:30? All of a sudden, the market just exploded for no reason, right? They won't even know what's happening. Don't be that guy, all right? If you can't tell what's going on, just relax. We got a new week coming up soon. Take a trade next week. You know what I mean? But all of this is to simplify the process. What we really want to be doing is marking off our major highs and lows before we come to the session, asking ourselves, are we working the high? Are we working the low? Right? And we want to see certain patterns. You know the patterns by now, the head and shoulders, the M formations, the W formations, all of these things, man. But tomorrow, you got to be on your game, bro. You know what I mean? And it's not about perfection. It's about progress, 1% better every day, right? Anyway, man, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.